everyone. I'm Sarah Schwartz. Today is July 12th. It is 9:07 a.m. We have 5 out of 9, so we do not have a quorum this morning. So we cannot vote this morning, but I can call it to order. And I guess we don't motion, right? We don't have a motion to start. But thanks for being here. Colleen couldn't make it, and Alicia had to apologize because her babysitter canceled. So, but we can certainly talk and get some stuff done. I guess we can't really approve the minutes, so we will do that next meeting. But does anybody have any changes to them or any additions that we need to do? No? All right, so we can deal with that next time. Why don't we move on to item number 3? Tracy, do you want to give us the treasurer's report?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Now, we do have another little bit of an expense to come out of this ending budget as well, because part of Elder's watering overlaps in June, so we have like a week worth of it. Not a whole lot, but a little less.
So with him, when he bills us, that's the month it goes into?
Yes.
Okay.
He bills us, his billing cycle is like the 23rd to the 25th. Like it's kind of, I'm like, I keep trying to get him to do first to the 30th, but
Yeah, I see.
But I think it's because it's based on when he does the first watering, when we do the hanging baskets. So he makes that his calendar month.
Okay.
So whatever, it works.
It's fine.
So anyway, you can see this is where we have ended up for our June budget ending 6/30. You'll see, if you look through the report, you see those expenses down on the bottom. Elizabeth and I did a pretty nifty planting project, which we finished last week.
Where's the 6:30? Oh, this is the 6. Where is this? What am I? Explain to me again. Where am I looking? No, I have the right one.
June.
I'm just not as adept at reading them. You said where did we end up?
Okay, we were here,
Yes.
and we still have these expenses to come through.
Okay.
So we have,
That amount.
that's
Okay.
technically what will be left in our 6/30 budget. With the
6:30, June
yeah.
30. But is that what you mean by 6:30? Okay.
With the addition of another couple $100 that will come off that for a bill for Elder that will get partially allocated to this expiring budget and partially to the new budget.
Do we know our new budget amount yet?
I thought it was 31.5. Is that what was approved?
I don't know. I don't. It hadn't. How did we find that out? Would it come from? Would I be notified? Would you be notified?
Well, I'll know next month when it hits the account.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can reach out to Linda and ask her.
Yeah.
How much?
Or just wait till next month when it's the account.
Yeah, because maybe we don't want to ask them questions.
Yeah.
Start looking.
Because our budget, if you look at the July entry on the top of that in our line account, it was 31,500 for this year. So
31. Okay, sorry. 31.
see in the line account on the top entry for the first July up there.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
There it
so-
is. Yeah, thanks.
So that was our budget for last year. So I
Okay.
think, if I'm not mistaken, I thought we pretty much put in about the same amount. We were approved about the same amount.
Okay.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Bert, can we, if we have bids that come back for materials to plant for the Adopt-A Gardens before the end of July, and it's within that strike zone, can we spend it on those materials that will
No,
be?
they would have had to be billed as of June 30th.
Yeah,
So-
that's the thing.
So those will go into our new budget then.
Because June 30th is the cutoff.
Yeah, our fiscal on 6/30.
Yeah.
So we
We really needed to spend this last
Forfeit,
meeting.
yeah.
we forfeited $6,356.95 because we didn't spend our whole budget. So that goes back to the town, but then we'll get our money replenished with our new budget amount for July. This last 2 weeks are a little bit crazy because everybody's scurrying to get their June balances posted to the accounts and so forth. But once that's all done, next month should be clear. We should know exactly where we stand. And you will see, these expenses are going to hit before June out of this budget.
I see.
The $7,084.48. They just haven't they hadn't posted, but I got the balances last week from
see.
Selena.
Mhm.
So, but we, we did a mass scurry. We went to the garden center, and Elizabeth and I bought a whole bunch of stuff that we planted here at Town Hall.
It looks
We bought-
It looks great.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, yeah, we put a couple of oak leaf hydrangeas, and we put an Annabelle hydrangea up in that dead zone up top, and some of the little gems up there as well, which are the green hydrangeas that turn white and then pink in the fall. So, and then we put in some more Clethra, and we put in some more boxwoods. We'd like to propose to Colleen has some flagstone for us, and we want to put the flagstone in front of those benches, and then put additional boxwoods on either side of the flagstone, so that the benches just really just look so pretty, and it's less maintenance, less weeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. much
So,
better.
but we did a whole bunch of planting. We put more roses in, we put other boxwoods, we put additional ilex in. We put, where that gross cedar in front of the building came out, we put in some pie bushes, some pie plants, and two of those will get to be about 6 feet tall, or 5 to 6 feet tall, and the other one will get to be like 3 to 4 feet tall. So we'll put some color right there and make it prettier. But
What about watering for all the new plants?
those are
How's that?
actually, town is being pretty helpful. They got the sprinklers on all that.
Okay,
The
good.
guys have been going in the morning and watering, and
Great.
Elizabeth and I have been, well, especially Elizabeth, have been, also doing a bunch of the watering to get them kind of established.
Terrific.
And thank God, we've had some
Thank
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
That's been very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we hit it just at the right time.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
which
great.
is- So,
Yeah, and I'm watering down at, like today at the senior center, we planted a few plants also at Amy Smile across from the train station. So I'm watering there today too. Because though, like for
Thank
2
you.
weeks, you
Oh,
pretty
that's
much have to
great.
water every single day.
Yeah.
to get them
Yeah.
established.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you go with the water? Like, how do you?
I save gallons of milk
Uh-huh.
and I fill those up with water.
Oh.
And I
So
use
you
those.
still buy the old-fashioned gallons as big as
Yes.
That's so great.
Yeah. And I just, like have 4 of
Here's-
them in my car. It's pretty
It was
easy.
good, at
Yeah.
least because we do have the hose right up top.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's a
from
visual
here.
hose, but
Thank God.
we should put one of those in our budget.
Seriously, yeah.
And
we
it
can
keeps
buy-
like kinking up and everything that dangles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, we
Yeah,
spent a lot of money, which is good.
yeah, we spent a lot of our budget down, so all of a sudden we were like, oh my God, we got $13,000. We need to clean this up.
Yeah.
So, and then
Yeah.
Elder has started also, he also did a cleanup at at a lot of the adopted gardens.
Yeah.
I noticed, I drove, which one was it? I drove past one, I was like, wow, it's looking good. It was looking neat and tidy and
When was that?
echinacea growing.
This week?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
I'm trying to remember which one, but yes, I was thinking to myself, oh, did Elder do another cleanup?
Mhm.
That's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
Elder and his wife have just been a
Okay.
wonderful asset for us. And they're so much more reasonable than so many of the other landscapers.
Absolutely.
$30 an hour.
Yeah.
Can I ask why we're not considering them for doing the maintenance for next year? For all of the adopted gardens?
Well, I think it might be too big for him because he does have a business of his own. He and his wife. I don't know that.
Should we give them the right of, give them a proposal, just so
Well, I thought we could maybe ask Elder to oversee maybe 1 or 2 gardens, but I don't know that we want to have him.
Maybe he has someone on the side that he could hire,
Yeah.
like if he wanted to,
We
that.
could certainly meet with Elder and discuss it with him and see.
Because
He
their water
knows.
looks better than ever too. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, it looks a
Yeah.
lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since your sign went in too.
Thank you for telling me about that. Yeah, we had a crazy bent, dirty, crooked, way too big of a sign. And I said, Sarah, what do you do about this? And she said, look on the town website. And the next day, a beautiful, smaller, straight sign went in. It looked like $1 million. And the town's so responsive. They're really.
It was impressive. Yeah, that was impressive.
You guys know about this, in the
No.
town, you can go into the town of Darien and there's a link where you can put in a request for something. And there are all these drop downs.
Right,
Dead animal, whatever,
Mhm.
plant obstructing view, all kinds of things that you can choose from, road problems, signs is one of them. And you just drop down and put in your little note, and there's a geolocator, so you can tell them exactly where it is. And I mentioned it to you because I had in the fall noticed all these leaves were creeping in on Goodwise River Road and really making it much more narrow, and I mentioned it, and the next day they swept the whole Goodwise River Road.
So they really do.
So they
someone follows
do,
it. It's great.
they really do, it's so
Right.
impressive.
Great.
Yeah.
I'd love to know who that person is.
You wonder how many
No,
people,
right? Yeah, maybe we
how
should
many
find out.
things
Well,
they get
first
a
of
day.
all, I'm sure it must go through Public
Yeah.
Works.
Public Works.
Yeah, it does go to Public
Yeah.
Works, I would think, but someone's reading it,
Mhm.
and.
And they have the highway division
Yeah.
too, they have different divisions within Public Works. The highway division, if I'm not mistaken, does the sidewalks and signs and the curbs.
And
Okay.
curbs.
But
We don't
We
know
have
which
that
curbs.
curb.
the problem with the curbs is some of them are state, some of them are town.
How do you, until you ask that, you probably don't know, right?
Well, anything along the post road is pretty much state, unfortunately, and that's a whole different ballot whack.
But we got some traction, didn't we? From the state, didn't they respond to Alicia?
I don't know.
They did?
Jackie, where was that sign, just so I can put it
Yeah.
in the notes?
Yeah, it was near Watering Post.
Oh, okay, thank you.
That's
And-
amazing. She got a response from,
I didn't, it was like, I saw it the next day, and then 2 days later, I just got an email receipt saying that it was complete. I thought, that's just the most
That's so
efficient
cool.
thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
That never happens.
Q alert.
What kind
Yeah,
of sign,
right,
what
yeah.
kind of sign was it?
It was a sign that basically tells people there's an island here, so go around.
Oh,
So it
okay.
just had that little only, but it was
Oh.
massive, and it was so ugly. And I didn't write like it's too big, I just said it's crooked, dirty, and bent. And then they smartly just replaced it with something that made more sense.
Oh.
Because that's what I need to do. My concern over by our Habitat Hill, the handicap spots right there don't have the stops. And very often, when I'm leaving or coming in, I see these elderly people who pull all the way up onto the sidewalk.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
They
oh my
do.
God, if there were a kid walking here, they would just be, they'd be hit by a car.
Scary.
There's no tennis ball.
Yeah,
No
right.
ties off the
Right,
tree.
right.
Yeah.
So I had mentioned it, and it kind of went on deaf ears, but maybe I'll post it.
After the meeting, if you have 5 minutes, we'll do it right now. I mean, we'll do it after the meeting, but we'll do it here, and then just put it in the
Yeah, right.
press if you want.
And I can see, in the winter they'll take them away because of plowing, it's easier. But the rest of the year, they really should have those stops there.
Yeah.
Because God forbid something happens and someone just hits reverse instead of,
It has happened.
Yeah,
It happens.
yeah, so,
No,
right.
I know one senior personally where that happened to him. And he still is driving today.
I know. It's
That's so not good.
Yeah, probably up on 95 too.
Anyway, okay, so thanks for the treasurer's report. Does anybody have any other questions? We good on that? Okay, the Adopt-A-Garden update. Alicia's isn't here, and I don't have any updates. Do you want to talk about a second?
I'll tell you what I found out. So I did reach out to, I guess, 4 different groups. I spoke to Costello, Nielsen's, Sarah McCool, and I did not get a response back from Kent, which I was not surprised about because I met them earlier before I had a lot of
Who's
information. Carolyn and Darwin used to be really, they are incredible designers. They
Okay.
used to work at Nielsen's and they went out on their own and they're really good. And I think Alicia has used them and I have too. They strongly prefer residential projects.
Got it.
So, came out earlier, but I still wanted to just follow through. So I walked in the proposal to Nielsen's and spoke to them. Their first response was, we're a very good resource for you in terms of design and selection of materials, but we are short on labor to install. So we might, split the baby in two. Costello was interested and has the proposal, and so does Sarah McCool. So they have until July 30th. I'm probably going to send them a little note a week before the 30th, just to remind them of the July 30th hoped for proposal.
And a quick question, when you were talking to all these people, were you bringing both the design proposal and the landscaping aspect to it, or
It was.
how did that?
You know what, they asked up front, like, is it one or the other? And I said it could be both, but the first plan is the design. And let me know your interest on maintenance, but with an eye towards low maintenance plants that sort of fit.
Yeah.
And you don't have to replace all the plants, you may just want to refresh something, and like maybe we have a 3 or 5 year plan where in 1 year you just take out the dead things that aren't doing well and replace it with something uniform, and maybe in year 2, like it doesn't have to be all at once.
Yeah.
But give us your thoughts, just so they knew there was some flexibility. and
Of
it's
course,
not
yeah,
all
that's
at once.
good.
But they did ask a lot about watering, fertilization. So I said, put it in and, do it with or without. Especially for Nielsen's, who was more interested in just the first piece. And then I thought, should I be reaching out to Gardner Center?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
I know they're short on staff as well, which
They
is
are.
why they couldn't plant what we had ordered, so that's why we called Elder, and the 4 of
Two of
us
you.
did it.
Yeah.
You're two
Have
of us.
shovelable travel.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah, they're all everybody's short on staff. Nobody wants to work.
I think there's going to be, it just rounded that labor curve. It's supposed to be, people are quitting as much, I think you should get a break in the fall.
Jackie, so what were the places again? Nielsen's, Kent.
Kent Designs,
Okay.
Costello,
Oh, Costello, okay.
and Sarah McCool.
Sarah
Okay,
McCool,
thank
wasn't she the one who did the Ledge Road garden? Was that her initially?
I think so.
She's so knowledgeable. Have you ever spoken to her?
No.
She's fabulous. She's like the Jacques Cousteau of like any plant or even patch of dirt. She can tell you what happened over the last 20 years. She's fabulous.
You know, who also is a great resource too is Sean at the Garden Center is
Yep.
very knowledgeable about things and insects and habitats and whatnot. He actually has a newsletter.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I get his newsletter.
And this comes with a little video and.
Hi,
Yeah.
this is Sean, and today we have the slugs, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
It gets so into it.
Yeah.
All right. I'll definitely,
Great.
I'll stop by then and ask them for.
Yeah, he's not there usually on Fridays, I believe.
Okay.
Okay, so we're waiting to see.
We're waiting. I probably
Okay.
I'll give them a reminder a week
Okay.
before the deadline, just saying, do you think you'll be able to submit it by the 30th? And then I'll let you know what they say. You
Great,
just have I'll just make sure I'm in close touch.
great. The one person I had reached out to was Hoffman, and they said that it would like pass. They weren't interested in taking on a project like that.
Right. Did you talk to Pumpkin
I
Ridge?
did know. I was in charge of, my notes.
You were Pumpkin
No,
Ridge.
no. No, if I was,
Oh, I reached out to Greg Forty and
odd job landscaping. Nope, they don't have they basically told me not the time. Oh, Pumpkin Ridge was mine. You're right. They never got back to me. Yeah. Odd job, it said, nope, they're not gonna take any small in the town.
Okay.
So, labor, that's what I.
Well, I mean, if it's labor, then, we could incorporate Elder and maybe even Wilmer into doing some of the labor involved.
Yeah.
For some of the maintenance things.
Actually, when I think I spoke Pumpkin Ridge, I think I got a phone call back right after 4th of July. That reminds me, because I remember one of my kids telling me something about pumpkin, so I think there was something, maybe they did finally get back to me. We can always see that, but I think they run a pretty good team over there. It's like more family oriented.
They're pricey.
They are, yeah. And so is Odd Job, even if they were.
Yeah,
I was like,
Odd Job's
this is, Odd Job is definitely not gonna,
Yeah.
for sure. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of times they see town.
That's right.
They run.
outside, no budget.
Of
Right.
course, that's what I,
You
yeah.
know, and it's unfortunate because they're missing out now.
Well,
They do
they're
get some
doing the
publicity.
private home, well, they're also doing the private homes all in this town, like, they should also volunteer a little bit to do the,
Yeah.
that's how I would
Pay it
look at
forward.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
Which is
good
what I feel like.
advertising.
Yeah. So, and I think we should make a bigger deal of the advertising aspect of it too, and get more media out there as this starts to really unfold and we freshen up this whole program and whatnot. We should really stay on top of the media coverage on that, and just social media and blurbs in the newspaper and human interest things and whatnot. And I think that would be great. I think that would make them more prone to stay on top of what they're doing and feel like they're being acknowledged.
acknowledge.
Yeah, and then other companies will say, wow, look, they keep talking about them, maybe we should do that. Right?
so. Okay.
Okay, so I think that's great, great progress. I mean, we're moving forward, we're moving forward, so we'll see.
Signage, was that really more Alicia?
Yeah, signage, I think was Colleen.
Colleen.
So
was working
I
on
will say,
that.
I think she's stuck there a little bit because
Okay.
the second party who initially had expressed interest has just been really not responsive. My thought was she should maybe find another one, but I don't know who to recommend.
So the person that, with the the beach bucket situation, it was the sign company in Stanford, All About Signs. was the name.
Okay, well, that's our first quote.
Oh.
They seem quite reasonable.
And they actually ended up giving their sign for free for that project. They were very interested in it and very involved.
nice.
If
So
we
that's
think-
nice.
If we think
So-
that group is not off market, is there any reason we can't move forward with them?
No,
Okay.
I don't see why
I think the
not.
biggest holdup has been, do we need to find another group just to have a competing bid? But
Yeah.
I feel like if we know that they're right in the middle.
Yeah. Then I would
But
say,
we-
you know,
What's
wait.
the
What's the name of
Obviously
it
using
again?
signs for success.
Signs
right?
for Success.
Oh, yeah, that's what
Signs for
we
Success
always
in
use like in
Stanford.
the sports. You know, all those signs are from Signs from
Are they?
Success. Yeah,
Okay.
or at least they used to be.
Yeah.
We deal with a company here in the registrar's office called Crazy Cheap Signs, but they're more like the lawn signs, you know, they're not the,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they're a great company.
Yeah. I mean, I was impressed that they gave that sign for free. They
Wait,
do
what was
it.
that sign?
Signs of Success. Yeah. In Stanford, they
And they
gave
had
them one
done
for
our,
free for the beach.
they had done all of our prior signs for beautification, for the gardens, for the adopted gardens.
Oh.
So that would certainly be,
Great.
I think we should certainly throw it back to them as well and see
Yeah.
if they'll,
Okay, then that makes more sense.
Okay.
Let's do
All
that.
right.
because they
Okay.
know us.
I'll take that.
Oh, great, thanks. Terrific. Okay, so item 5 is update on talking about other commissions. And then there's a whole bunch of things clumped into this item. But let's start with the first one, talking to other commissions. You had done
Yes.
some good research on that.
Well, I took Alicia's good advice, and the first thing I did was peruse the website, and I thought that was really informative because, other groups are organized really differently. One thing, Westport says they're reorganizing now to touch back with them in the fall, and I thought, I wonder what they're doing. Then I looked at New Canaan. They are a league, not a commission. They are organized really differently than we are. They have, 10,000 volunteer hours. So anybody can join. Anybody can join. I think
They can work in our town too, if they want.
Right. 227 hanging baskets. They have been at this for almost 100 years. So I think they grew to be too big for what we're doing. So
Okay.
their scope is much bigger and broader. Similarly, Greenwich is organized. They have something, the thing that's closest to what we do is called Green and Clean. They have a gala. They have awards for people who do things. Yeah. They're really, and then they have a
That's so
separate one.
Greenwich.
They have like
Yeah.
a Glenville Beautification. It's sort of a smaller, sort of sub-beautification group, and then Green and Clean is much bigger. So I didn't get traction when going through the website forums. So then I just started calling people I knew. And so I do have a contact of someone who's at Green and Clean to just tell me how they get their initiatives going and how they're successful and what kind of the roadblocks are and how they manage them. But I think it will be a little bit apples and oranges just because of the scope and size and way they're organized. But
They must get much bigger funding than we do.
Definitely.
yes, but they're not funded through their town.
Oh,
Oh.
So-
So how are they funded?
donations?
We don't know.
Do a gala.
They're nonprofits.
Yeah.
They're nonprofits, but I think that's because they went beyond a certain scope. I think maybe after 70 or so years, you get to a certain point, and that's what
I
happens.
think you keep it through the town.
So
Me
do
too.
I don't think this needs to
I-
be.
yeah.
No, no.
Well, the advantage to keeping it with the town, we get other resources from the town. You know, we get help with, like when we did big cleanups
Oh,
and
yeah.
Public
Great.
Works takes our stuff away.
And we're
They
probably
do
the
water
smallest
management.
town out of
That's
all.
right. We
you
are
know?
smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So, I'm just, my biggest goal is to make town hall prettier, because I think, you know, it is. I mean, I walk through here every day, and it just makes me feel good when people say, boy, town halls never look prettier, and I'm like, great,
Great.
That's great.
Good work.
You know, so it's like, yes.
Yeah. That is great.
So,
Well, thank you. That's really useful and interesting. And I like that we can kind of get ideas maybe from what other groups are doing and see what's working and see what we can copy or not copy. So that's great.
I was interested to understand how some groups are going to handle water challenges in the future. Like,
Yes.
they're thinking about it. Something are.
Did any of them say
Yeah,
anything?
what did they say?
Well, I haven't
Yeah.
talked to a person yet, but I
Yeah.
mean, if you just look at like even the towns talking about noise ordinances,
Yes,
I
I
know.
saw that.
Yeah.
right? That was a big thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember who had, like, I think Greenwich has had theirs in place for a long time,
Yeah.
since the 80s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting. I think we are just smaller and move a little bit more
Well, we have
slowly.
light ordinance, you know, like,
That's right.
I don't know,
well, the
night.
women on that commission stepped off the Mayflower.
Let's see.
That's Mayflower.
Mayflower. Oh.
They're just being corny.
Let's see. So, other governmental commissions and building partnerships. I was going to put together a spreadsheet, which I started and have not finished. But I did talk to this great woman, Marley Hayes, who is, have you met Marley? She's great.
She does all the media.
She does the media, and she puts together that newsletter for Monica, our first selectman.
Right.
And I just met with her because she wanted to you had been helpful in sending her information, and we sat down and talked. So it was just a nice connection to make.
And she's very lovely to work
She's
with.
she's
Very
just a lovely
helpful.
person. Yeah, very helpful, very nice. So she was trying to get a sense of what we do, and I was sharing with her all the different projects. And then she said, "How do you guys fit into the green team?" And I was like, "We are working this out. We don't really know." But evidently, there's the green team is a whole bunch of different groups that sounds like are similarly related to caring about the environment and projects that somewhat overlap with us. So I got the name of the person who I think spearheads that, and I'm going to keep working that angle just to see who we could collaborate with, who we could talk to. I mean, it seems like we all have the same general mission, which is making things better and look better and work better and better for the environment and all that. So I'll keep that going.
I wonder if they talk to Green and Clean.
When you said the word green and clean, I was
Yeah.
like, well, funny, because we have a green team.
Right. I wonder if that's the natural partner.
David Bain's wife involved with Green Team.
She's on the conservation, but maybe green team too.
You know, another
I think
commission.
green team is an umbrella, and all these
Yeah.
people fall under it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, another commission too, is we do the hanging baskets, and then you've got like the monuments and ceremonies group too. And I'm wondering if, you know, we piggyback stuff with them on some things, because they do the flags and stuff like that. I believe that's the
Yeah,
monuments and
wreaths.
ceremonies. And the wreaths, well, the wreaths across America is on their
Oh,
own.
right.
But, you know, I just wonder if we could kind of, you know, hold together something with them. Because when we take our hanging baskets down, they put the flags up for Veterans Day and all that. And, you know, we did the monument thing here with the flag ceremony for Flag Day here. And, you know, just a thought, maybe we could join forces with them a little bit on some stuff too.
Yeah. Do we, what do you think about we assign a committee member to watch their videos of their
I'll do it.
meetings?
I'm
Do you want to
happy
do that? I mean, I've been trying to watch different commission meetings of different committees, but I haven't been watching all of them.
Yeah.
But if we feel like
Take off the
maybe.
writer's strike.
Follow. Which ones do you like to follow?
Well, I started watching Park and Recs, and I've been clicking through different ones just to see what seems interesting to me. Like I just kind of click through different videos. And then sometimes I like watch a video and I get interrupted and I get back to it. So I'm not saying I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
But Board of Selectmen,
Yeah.
that was interesting. They were talking about noise ordinance this month. So I even went through police commission just to see sort of what people are
Behind
talking
the
about.
scenes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, behind the scenes actually very interesting.
Interesting. It really goes on.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's like
Yeah.
sitting in on the RTM meetings and things are interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we felt, and I'm not going to assign more work on this, but if we felt that there might be some commissions that would have ties to us, maybe we could start just watching their videos and seeing,
Sure.
you know, is there someone I know, or they talk about things that interest us, or there are overlaps?
There was somebody who wanted to work with us that's in, is it Chamber of Commerce, who does the wrapping of the poles?
Right.
I don't know who that, do you
It
know
was
who that
Kesty Asa. She is the director of the Chamber of Commerce. She took on that role maybe a year or so ago. And I saw her in passing. I think she's quite busy with it because I think it's a lot. But she had mentioned, I just took on this role and we're in charge of wrapping, but, you know, I don't know. Well, I don't know how this all happened, and at the time I was like, I don't know who does what. But yeah, there could be a discussion there too. And I don't know even if we want to take that on or not. We can decide whether, we may not want to handle that. We don't have the budget for it if they're getting the budget and they want to do it. So I don't know. We can discuss that for sure. Any additional business? Anything anybody wants to talk about?
Oh, you wanted to talk about the August meeting.
Thank you. Yes, the August meeting, I am out of town. It is August 9th, next month, and I'm gone. I don't know when anybody else's thoughts are, but I
Very
cannot.
often, we don't have an August meeting because it is such a vacation month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys, yes, so I'm fine with canceling it. The question is whether. I'm totally fine with canceling.
Great.
And even if we are happy, I'm not dialing in. But if anybody else wants to do it, and the concern had been if we start getting back information from bids for the Adopt-A Gardens, do we want to have a meeting?
Or can we just email back and forth?
Or can we just email
I
back and
think we
forth?
can
In my
email.
opinion, we cancel it and we just email back and forth, wait and see.
We get a vacation.
And we get vacation, exactly. All right, so I'll do it, or do you want to do it? I'll do it.
Okay, great.
I will cancel that meeting. I'll send in the
Thanks so much.
cancellation request for August 9th. You guys can take it off your calendars. And then we will meet back again on September 13th, regular schedule.
9 a.m.
Pardon?
Sticking with 9 a.m.
Stick it with 9 a.m. And following up
For the
to
wedding, I should be a mess by
Alicia's.
then.
What'd you say?
That's the week before my daughter's wedding. I
Oh.
should be a mess by then.
Yeah, you may not be able to attend.
Oh, I'll attend. I
Oh.
just don't know what I'll be
Oh,
like.
well, if you have a last minute thing, we will understand. Linda O'Leary, I followed up, I was thinking about Alicia's question from yesterday about whether we could expect some new people, and she said that the next meetings are coming up, and so hopefully she'll have some new information for us soon. So if there's any information on new commission members, of course, that I get that is not, I'll distribute to the group and let you guys know. So
They
maybe
did finally-
we have new people on.
They do
September.
finally have the
Yes,
the
the Great Island.
Great Island Commission. My nephew
That's
made it
great.
on there.
Yay!
That's
Great,
cool.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Wow.
There we go, a connection if we
A
have any
connection.
questions or anything.
Yeah.
I-
I'll make
I-
your Christmas,
yeah.
and I'll make your Thanksgiving turkey if you don't do this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You only get stuffing if you tell me what's going on. All right, so we will cancel the meeting and.
Were we going to do a bucket project over at Pear Tree as well?
So, the bucket, are you all right? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I swallowed the coffee.
Okay, no, that's sorry. Just want to make sure you weren't choking. The bucket project has, as you guys know, I mentioned last time, it got installed. It worked out really well, and then it got some press actually. So
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
Thanks for sharing.
yeah. So that was fun, and she's gotten even more press. And I had an interview the other day, so she might make something else. She might be in the. We might be in the paper again. I don't know. We'll see. There was an article possibly being written about that. And the thought is that she submitted the design to Park and Rec Commission, and they're really gaining some interest in putting them in other locations.
Ooh, that'd be
So that's
awesome.
great. So not just our other beaches, not just Pear Tree, but maybe some parks too, which I had
Cherry Lawn would be.
hoped
yeah.
would be.
There's
what could
always
happen?
stuff. There's always stuff. up
There's
on the
garbage
ground.
everywhere.
Water bottles or
Totally.
toilets and
I mean,
Yeah.
leftover everything. So.
wrappers and stuff.
Exactly. So hopefully, that will move forward.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good for you, you started all that.
well, good, it's, you know, it takes a village.
Start somewhere.
Everybody's involved.
Yeah, well, and it's just,
That's
it's so cool for me, because I go down to Boynton Beach, and I saw it
Yeah.
in Boynton Beach.
Oh, you
and,
did?
like, after
Great,
Colleen had, you know, mentioned that, I'm like, oh, wow,
Yeah,
you know, here it is. you know,
Yeah.
So,
exactly. Now, we are not affiliated with the Beach Bucket Foundation that's located in
Right.
Florida. Those people actually did want to affiliate with us, but it was just, didn't sort of make sense. It was just easier for us to just build our own project and kind of run with it from here. But it's the idea of collecting trash that's all good. So, anyway.
It just
good.
amazes me, people that put trash in the wrong place.
I
I
know.
know, I
Yeah.
know,
it just amazes me when you see like the beer bottles and the soda bottles thrown on the side of the road too,
I
or the
know.
coffee cups.
Or someone takes their bag of McDonald's and just chucks it out the window.
My
So
favorite,
weird.
they take the time to pick up the dog poop, and then
And
they
leave the-
throw the bag. I'm like,
Yeah.
at least the poop would disintegrate.
I know.
Burlesque, you know.
I know.
My brother actually lives here in town, and he goes around and picks up cans all the time.
That's
It's just how he's always done it, like it's just like a
Yeah.
childhood thing that he just does, and
That's so great.
cleans up, and he has this long stick, and goes
Oh,
around with
yeah.
this little red bucket.
Yeah.
And I see him, I'm like, okay, there's your can, and he goes and gets his own money for it.
That's
That's
great.
fantastic, I love that.
Great.
Cute.
Yeah. I know. Does anybody have anything else to add? No? Yeah, we're good?
So-
All right, good, good, good. Yeah,
So I
yeah.
just want to get approval to order some, let me get the flagstone from Colleen. I just want to go ahead and order a couple more boxwoods. We might not be able to get them now. Although actually, Sean did have a whole bunch of them on the side of the building for the circle as well, fill in some of that.
Make
Do
it
it.
as pretty as
Do
you want.
it, do it, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yourself.
do what you want. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I think it's really important to have town hall looking sharp.
I absolutely
So I'm
agree.
with you. And
I'm
that's our
always out
job.
there. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
always out there pulling weeds and
Yeah.
I might
thank
walk to
you.
the car.
Yeah.
And then, you know, all the work we've done, and then somebody will nitpick on one, oh, well, doesn't anyone clean the weeds off this or blow that off?
They do.
Oh,
Oh.
could you look at the big picture, please? It's
Yeah.
so pretty.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to, like, after our meeting, we'll just show you what we planted?
Of course, please.
Okay.
Yes,
all right,
for
good.
sure.
All right.
Yeah. All right, I think we're
Good
adjourned.
time.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you.
guys.